So you want to know how and why you should create a graphic design portfolio website. This is going to be a part of a series that I'll be doing, walking you through each step of getting a graphic design portfolio website set up. But this video is going to deal with the how, the why about creating your own website, going through how to create it, how to host it, how to get SEO and searchability and be able to rank on Google, how to set up the portfolio on your site, and just all the various elements surrounding it. And so I'm really excited to walk you through the whole process. If you are in a situation where you're starting your own business, or you've had your own business, you want to really structure it and get it really locked down, you can check out the graphic design business checklist in the description below. And that will give you the opportunity to really see, okay, am I getting things structured right in my business to be organized, to be automated, and to be as efficient as possible to actually get more clients and make more money in the long run. Before we get going, there's also a link in the description below to get a discount on Hostgator. They are my domain host, and they don't sponsor this video, but I do have an affiliate link down there. You can check that out. All right, without further ado, let's jump into the content. Now, the first thing that people often come to me and ask is, okay, why do I need a graphic design portfolio website? What is the benefit of that when everybody's always telling me to promote myself on social media, to build connections, to put my work out there, because the only way people are going to find you is by building those connections on social media. Nobody is just randomly going to stumble across your site. And that I actually argue with, and I'll talk about that in a little bit later in this video. Why I think that you can actually have people find your site when they're searching on Google for graphic designers. And it takes some work, but I will explain that, so hang on for that later in the video to come. But getting back to social media. So thing is, the reason I find social media a bit inconsistent is because you got to think about, in the grand scheme of life, what social media has become, what social media platforms have died, and just all the surroundings around having an account on a social media platform. So there's kind of three parameters. One, the social media could die. You got to think about MySpace. I think about Vine for a lot of people who are making a lot of money posting Vine videos. And so those reasons are why I think you have to be careful relying all of basically your work and your income and your livelihood on a social media platform. The second reason would be the fact that you don't know if you're going to do something that the social media platform disagrees with and then shuts down your account. So whether you're being malicious or not, whether you're being inappropriate or not, you could be shut down, and then you have no way of showing your work, sharing your work, and promoting yourself and continuing to make a living at graphic design. The third reason would be just errors. So I know a lot of YouTubers over the past year had their accounts shut down. Some of them couldn't get them reopened. And it wasn't even a reason of them doing something wrong. It was a glitch in the system. Now, some of those YouTubers were able to have their accounts restored, but you just have to remember of the inconsistency that happens when you go to a social media platform. You don't own that platform. What I love about my website is I own my website and all the content on it. I can do with it as I please, and I'm not worried about it being shut down outside of not paying the yearly subscription to run the hosting that my website sits on. All right, so the second thing is, if you're talking to potential clients, it's easier to drop them a link directly to your online portfolio on your own website, a little more professionalism that it's on your own website, than it is to just send them to your social media platform. This presents a level of professionalism, and you don't have to worry if your college roommate has gotten on your work and talked about the great benders and drunk times you guys had. It's very unprofessional, and I think having a place where you're not worried about what other people are going to say and interact with your work when you're trying to reach potential clients is crucial. I think that's something that you really have to consider. Your social media presence is often finicky because of how people react with you. Maybe not what you're putting out, but how people respond to you. All right, so the second point I really want to get into is, what kind of website do you need? Like, what do you personally need to build? And there's three options here. There's a fully coded website, which I have pursued once as a college project. I enjoyed it because it was a challenge, but I would never recommend it within today's abilities to produce websites without having to have any coding knowledge. There's a second option, which is a WordPress. This is a semi-involved setup and design. It takes a little more work, but I have found a really nice website plugin called Elementor. I'll link to that below. You should definitely check that out. And it really takes away all that coding and all that mess that you even had to do with WordPress even 5 or 6 years ago when I was first creating my website. So I just found that recently, and I definitely want you guys to check that out, and I'll show you that in later videos. Now, the third option is something like Squarespace or Wix or Weebly. These are actually websites that are hosted on the Squarespace domain or the Wix domain. Now, you can purchase your own personalized custom domain, but you're creating on their platform. The one thing I don't like about these platforms, Squarespace, Wix, Weebly, they're great, but as a designer, I want more control. I want to make things appear a certain way, and I found that when working with Wix websites is I would end up in a corner sometimes. So that's why personally, out of these three, I'm going to recommend WordPress, and I'm going to recommend a combination of a WordPress theme, a WordPress element creator, and then also different plugins to help maximize the reach of your website, which we'll discuss in later videos. So that's really what kind of website can you get. I just want to walk you through the three options so you know what you have. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about is the custom domain name or URL. So that is, for me, benjikaiser.com, I think facebook.com, youtube.com, etc. Now, you want to get, in my opinion, a .com. Sometimes your name will not be available. I was very fortunate to be able to get benjikaiser.com, but benkaiser.com was unavailable, bkaiser, Benjamin Garrell, whatever, all these were unavailable. And so for me, I was fortunate enough to get Benji Kaiser. Now, if you can't get the .com of your name, you can go for .life, .me. They might even have a .design if I'm not mistaken, but don't quote me on that. And so what you can do is you can, kind of create a variation. So iDesign.me or whatever. And so the thing with that is it gives you kind of a unique set you apart from .com. The only issue I see with that is people are so used to .com. So if you're talking to somebody and you say, hey, go to my website, it's robertmcmillan.co or robertmcmillan.me or robertmcmillan.life. And then they go and they try and search you, robertmcmillan.com, and they don't find you. And so I don't know how motivated that person will be to continue to pursue you, but you want to make it as easy as possible to find you when having discussions on the town or just really promoting yourself and getting people to know who you are and find your website. Now, another thing I want to talk about is the hosting platform. I use Hostgator. I really like Hostgator. I'm not sure how other people feel about it, but I've had great experiences with the live chat, great experiences with the tech side. So I've never had a site go down. I own about 6 or 7 sites, and I've never had them go down. So I'm very grateful for Hostgator, and I think they make a great product. I do have an affiliate link in the description below to get a discount on Hostgator. So if you're interested in that, also later in videos to come, I'm going to show you how to set up a website on Hostgator. So if you have another domain name and you want to set up your website, this might relate. It'll definitely relate when we get into the WordPress if you want to create a WordPress site. But if you want to follow along with me throughout this series, Hostgator domain name and URL will be your key, and you can get that in the description below. Like I said, this is an affiliate link. I get a small commission, but at no extra cost to you, and there is a discount code on that link, which is phenomenal. All right, so again, why should you get a domain name when everybody is telling you to promote on social media? We'll recap that. It's the fact that you control it. There's nobody else who's going to be talking into your social media platforms. You don't have to worry about what clients are going to see when you send people your link. And you don't know what's going to happen with the platform, whether it's going to go away, you're going to get kicked off, whether of your negligence or the negligence of the platform. And so I think that's very important that you own your website. I own and control what's on benjikaiser.com. Here's my recommendation when people often say, well, you can't get traffic on websites. People can't find your website. There's so many websites. It's so hard to get your website known and ranked. And yes, this is true. But with the proper effort, you can begin to rank for certain keywords in maybe your local area by starting a blog, by writing content, by doing good on-site SEO for your website. In later videos, I'm going to go in depth on website SEO for graphic designers. But for now, as a general overview, I'm going to say that when you write blogs and you do proper keywording and descriptions for your website, people are getting to know you. So whether you have a blog section or an About Me section, that's going to allow the possible clients coming to your website to get to know you, to create a personal connection with you, as well as see your personal design philosophy. So if somebody wants maybe just an affordable logo, doesn't really care too much about what's behind it and getting a solid design, they can go to Fiverr.com, they can go to Upwork. But if people are coming to you as a skilled graphic designer, as a professional designer, they're going to want to know your design philosophy. They're going to want to know what you believe about design and how you go about creating the process of your graphic design work. And so you can do that through a blog, through an About Me page. I recommend a blog because it allows you to spread out your content and create more links and ways for people to reach your website. So if you're going to be writing content about, okay, what is the design process of a logo? How do you know you got a good graphic design logo? Where do you go to get a graphic design logo? If you're in Boston or Florida or Orlando, Orlando is in Florida, just in case you're wondering. If you're in Orlando, you could say, okay, best logo designs in Orlando. And you can go around and you can take pictures of logos throughout Orlando and then bring those on your site, critique them, walk through them, and talk about them. And then when somebody goes and searches best logo designs or best logo designer Orlando or best logo design Orlando, or you do one about graphic design in Orlando, then you're going to start occurring traffic to your website from those searches. Because you gotta remember, people just go to Google and they're just trying to find what they need. They're not necessarily trying to find you, but if you can get in front of them with your blog, you'll increase your ability to rank for certain keywords and search terms on Google. Okay, more of that to come in later videos. That's just to highlight kind of an overview. The last thing I want to talk about is making sure that you pursue what is right for you. Whether you want that experience of coding an entire website, or you want to do something like WordPress, which is semi-involved, semi-automated, or you want to just kind of throw it all to somebody else, go to Wix, go to Squarespace, and then from there you just kind of fill in some of your information. You can snag the Hostgator link in the description below so you can prepare for videos to come on getting that set up and me walking you through the different steps to setting up your online portfolio. We're going to use WordPress, just so you know, because that's what I use, and I think it's the best for customization as well as ranking and SEO on your website. This is all a part of a series that I'm doing for starting your graphic design business. This is a part of getting your website set up, getting your project management, your emails, and all that is really encompassed in this. I'm also launching a course in the coming months, and that is going to be the complete kit for graphic design business starter kit. This is all a part of that. This is a free resource to get you started with your website and get things rolling for you. But I want you to go download that graphic design checklist, and I think that'll be a huge resource to you moving forward. I'm Benji Kaiser of benjikaiser.com. I'll see you on the next video in the series.